that is just so smooth. So a little while ago, I spent the equivalent of about a year's worth of rent on these manual focus Sigma cinema lenses, which I actually already owned the much cheaper $800 f1.8 photo version with a few gears on it of exactly the same lens. And you're probably thinking, why on earth would you do that? Fair question. Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Tom Park and I'm an underwater and wildlife cinematographer. Throughout this series, we're discussing the world of filmmaking and cinematography, where I'll teach you some of the things that I've learned over the last decade working in the film industry as an underwater and wildlife cinematographer. If you're interested in that sort of thing, subscribe and let me know down below what you film and if you have ever considered using a manual focus cinema lens. The allure of cinema lenses is undeniable. The promise of superior image quality, precise optics, and the creative possibilities pulls filmmakers into this fascinating world. But the big question remains, are they worth the price tag? This right here is the Sigma 18-35 f1.8 photo lens, which retails for about 800 Australian dollars. And this right here is the exact same lens, the Sigma 18-35 T2 cinema lens, which retails for about $7,300. A very steep price difference. And most people commonly assume that the difference must be in the optical quality. But while the Cine lens is slightly improved and has some slightly more advanced optical coatings, the lenses are optically identical. The cinema lens is also manual focus only, where the f1.8 version caters to manual focus and autofocus, and the cinema lens is almost double the weight. So again, the question comes back, why? In the world of cinematography, where film crews and camera operators rely on manual focus almost exclusively, cinema lenses, among a few other features that I'll touch on down below, offer one critical advantage over photo lenses, and that is that they have a precise and smooth manual focus control. If you have ever tried to pull focus on standard photo lenses, you will realize just how imprecise they can be. The focus throws on standard photo lenses are so short that it becomes very difficult to accurately dial in your focus and follow your subject, as even the slightest move in your focus will shift your plane of focus quite dramatically. This makes things like focus pulling almost impossible at times. And this is made even worse by the fact that focus pulling on photo lenses is usually non-linear, meaning that pulling focus isn't only dictated by the amount that the lens is rotated, but it's also influenced by the speed of rotation on the focus ring, adding another vague variable into the mix, making pulling focus manually very difficult. This is all amplified by the fact that today we are shooting almost all of our footage on at least 4K, and in natural history projects for me, either 6K or 8K, and with these higher resolutions, even the slightest imperfection in focus is immediately obvious. Cinema lenses resolve this issue and are designed for precise and smooth manual focus control, where these Sigma Cine lenses have a 180-degree focus throw with clear, linear guides printed along the outside of the lens. These much expanded linear operating focus throws are so nice to work with and allow you to accurately dial in focus and follow your subject with confidence. Using photo lenses, I was always conscious and worried that with the slightest 1 or 2 millimeter turn of the focus ring that I would completely overshoot my focus point and ruin my shot. With these lenses on the other hand, these tiny rotations of the ring clearly and simply shift focus a small amount, allowing you to accurately pull focus throughout a scene. For me, this is the reason alone why I bought these lenses. And if you're a working DP, you know that one of the worst things to worry about is missing focus in an all-important moment. And fighting those tiny non-linear focus throws on photo lenses is not a fun experience. But these lenses, as do all cinema lenses, also have a number of other benefits. The lenses are parfocal, which means that when you zoom in and out, your focus point remains constant, making it much easier to get a range of wide, medium, and tight shots of the same scene without losing focus, something photo lenses just can't do. In addition to this, the aperture ring or iris ring works very similarly and allows manual smooth exposure changes throughout a scene, without the jarring hard stops you get when you flick a DSLR, say, up or down in aperture. You would have also noticed that these lenses are T2 instead of f1.8. And while this is pretty much the same thing, the light or iris is measured in T-stops of light transmission, which is just a more accurate measurement of light that will perfectly align exposures between different lenses with the same t-stop. Conversely, photo lenses at f1.8 will all have slight shifts in exposure between them, meaning that exposure will vary while changing lenses even if the f-stop is the same. Now, I don't particularly care about this, and this definitely applies more to a studio set environment, but it's nice to have, I suppose. Something I do care about though is the way in which cinema lenses are built, and namely that they are built with identical focus and zoom and aperture ring placement across them, meaning that when you change lenses on your rig, it is much simpler, and all of your focus gears and follow focus systems such as this here are perfectly aligned and don't need to be adjusted. This saves a lot of time when changing lenses out in the field and allows you to change lenses in the heat of the moment much easier. Another major reason film crews shoot on cinema lenses is that they often have a look associated with them. DPs and cinematographers will choose lenses that emit a certain look and feel to their image, and they use lens choice much the same way as the editors grade the footage, as this look and feel will bring out a different response or a subconscious feeling in the audience. For me personally, this wasn't as big of a consideration, and working in wildlife and documentary filmmaking, I chose the Sigma cinema lenses as they are renowned for their natural and lifelike image, and their extremely sharp optics. I want my footage to look and feel how it does when I'm in the field capturing it, and I didn't want to add any Hollywood looks in associated with a number of other camera lenses. But depending on what you are capturing, this may be a much bigger influence in deciding to pick up a set of cinema lenses. So the question remains, are these lenses worth their hefty price tag? This is very much a personal question, as for videographers using autofocus systems and lenses, the answer is probably not. For me, as a working DP using cinema cameras that rely on manual focus systems, having confidence that my footage is going to be in focus and that I'm able to pull focus accurately and follow my subject is critical and more than justifies my decision to pick up a set of these cinema lenses. And for me, this is without a doubt the most important factor, and the reason that I invested in cinema glass. And as I use these lenses more and more, the additional benefits like the smooth iris control and the way the lenses are built to allow for fast lens swap in the heat of the moment has definitely grown on me. And it has become something I really do appreciate having, as well as something that I do miss when I use my older, more photo lenses. If you're a working DP and are working in a manual focus environment on cinema cameras, I would suggest looking into cinema lenses, as they will improve your work quite dramatically. But whether the price tag justifies the benefits for you will depend on what you're shooting and your personal circumstances. Alright, this has been a long one. If you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one.